Ah, another one. I really hope at least one of the campaigns game offers is a bit different. I mean, I'm sure they will demand decisive victories. I mean, definitely less infantry based, the better. That way I can get decent amount of kills and can afford some casualties and still move on. So the real question mark here is the enemy going to push forward too, or is it going to be satisfied with sitting in position and waiting for me to approach? That'll be the deciding factor here. Well, didn't I have aircraft? Yes. Corsairs would be the bomb ones. Fine. And we might have... okay, just go. What do we see? Nothing useful. So... Not just drive forward until something happens. You can always choose to act in a different way. But for now, I need to get things moving. And if there's a huge amount of infantry I absolutely need to kill to ace this mission, I think it's better if we get to the fighting as soon as possible. More or less so we don't fail in the same way with the previous mission at the first attempt. Basically boxed ourselves into too few remaining rounds to be able to pull out a victory out of it. Especially so because we don't really know do they even have significant tank armor presence here. I'm sure they have some, but that doesn't necessarily mean shit. I want to move a couple of the anti-air units now, just in case they are gonna throw some aircraft on my way. Gonna be artillery at the very least. Yeah, we're pretty much blind here, so I don't think they would... even if they have units rolling my way, I wouldn't be able to see them. Right, I think I bought an entire platoon of extra self-propelled artillery. Well, I'm gonna have to bombard something. How about that smoke? The smoke doesn't make sense unless I actually know more or less what to expect. It's a catastrophe in a lot of cases. Suppose I could still fire a little bit. Hmm, let's say some of these rock patches. We could also send an aircraft somewhere. No. No, we won't. Because these aircraft come with a fairly minor delay, just one turn, and it has a reasonable chance to even damage T-34. So if we basically spot the top tanks or things like that, we can sacrifice a turn in order to get rid of it. Yeah, this is gonna be both sides charging at each other. My anti-air units reacting. That's also an entire platoon of enemy tanks that we can wipe out. Let's try Mr. Jackson's E4. This is the only thing they know how to do, well, theoretically at least. We might not have that. One of our tanks actually sees something. Yeah, I don't want to shoot at this, because it'll just block access to the other units. Who the hell sees anything now? You do, for some reason. Fine. Yeah, the front unit is easily destroyed by a few units. Actually, we don't see anything but the front unit at the moment. Our fearless leader is in a position to spot the rest. No? So if we would have held back a little bit, we would have been in a perfect firing position. Ooh, yeah, these guys can see it all. I'm going to rush these tanks no matter what happens. Retreating. Tank destroyed. Routed already, right. We can destroy that one easily. We have a tank destroyer very close by. So if we can suppress this, I think we're in a fairly good position. Destroy it, all the better, but suppression is sufficient. It's buttoned up, not exactly great, but it's better than nothing. And it has moved quite a bit, so buttoned up can mean that it has trouble reacting to anything that comes closer to it. And also, we don't have to, when we rush it, we don't have to go to hugging distance immediately. We can stop there and start shooting at it. We can suppress with the anti-air units. Well, I don't think we want to. Okay, it's Mr. Jackson. Take it from here. Okay, I'm not exactly impressed with what I'm seeing. Yeah, the fuel-propelled artillery is much better. Which is weak. Weak stealth. Okay, let's go. Let's go take a look. I don't particularly want to shoot anything with the bigger tanks, especially not infantry targets at least. Holy shit! T-34. Excellent. Any kind of suppression fire on that one? No, just get rid of. We can probably use some kind of shitty vehicle here to get rid of the crew. A Shafi, you will. A little bit of return fire. Still, I don't see how we could possibly avoid risking ourselves. And this is the critical turn for us. Whoever basically wins the kills here is going to take the whole shebang, I think. So, might as well go in with everything we have. Although it's not looking particularly good at the moment. Moving and shooting. Hard things to do with these type of tanks. The Jacksons are not impressing me. There's nothing really special about them. They also don't have a huge amount of shots, so I don't really get what's their thing really. Where do they shine specifically? We could probably use them to take down that. Yeah, maybe we should focus on taking down these T-34s first. Okay, that's more T-34s, right? So I wasn't afraid of that. It's the best we can do. Shit. I'm saving my shots if I don't get a good chance to take down any targets. Yeah. We're in a terrible position compared to the T-34s at the moment. Because we have to move a lot to even see them. But they can see us right then and there without moving an inch. So we might have to go with the smoke option. We basically can't get anyone here to kill these guys who are retreating around it. So it would be preferable to try to pull back as best we can. Although that's not gonna... can't really do that either. We've gone in too far. Yeah, we just don't have the mobility to get to good firing positions. I think we're gonna have to just replay this turn. City in position, let them come to us. The terrain is too shitty for us to make any kind of massive assault on them. We could go in there, but it won't actually do any good. That Jackson isn't moving anywhere. My plan at this point would be to just try to fire some smoke. that might still be able to save the Jackson. It's not looking good though. There's so many T-34s there, and we have like single tank, maybe ready to react, even if they come through the smoke. So yeah, that's not gonna go our way. Still, can move some units there. Also the engineers, which might be our best hope actually. Right. I mean, for their tanks to go into this rough terrain also means they're not moving at all. So in fact, this is not a bad thing at all. It's pretty much impossible to go around this particular area. I want to stack as many tanks as possible here, which is basically two, apparently, and a group of engineers. And then we are pretty much done. No, we're not. We're going to call in aircraft here because with any all likelihood, not all of them are going to attack, and we certainly don't see all of them. So this might be our golden opportunity to use the aircraft for something useful. We can save like one. Yeah, quite a few tanks. A lot of immobilized units, I'd say. Priest, Pershing, Jackson, Jackson. Still, the moment we end this, the aircraft will arrive. And I think they're going to bomb fairly acceptable locations. My biggest worry is that they're going to bombard our own tanks, but we'll see. This could still go either way. It's actually fairly good for us. Engineers to the rescue. Does anyone actually see a target? You do. I think it's pretty risky for us to bombard this location with aircraft. I don't think we have much of a choice. We have to look at how badly they're doing on the morale front. Okay, well, yeah, a couple of the mortars see something, but that's about it. Yeah, there's just the number of aircraft number of tanks seems to be growing. So yeah, multiple. That's ready. It's ready. There's like one retreating, which is nice, but that doesn't amount to much. Right. I think I could use more engineers here more than anything else. At the same time, maybe Pershings. Basically want to have enough units there that it's impossible for them to try to push through. More engineers probably wouldn't hurt. Mm, we could drop smoke here, but I'm not sure if that's in our advantage. Artillery is gonna drop here, and I don't see a reason why it shouldn't. I mean the enemy artillery. It's fine for us too. We're gonna get some immobilized units, but it's fine. Mainly the Jacksons have been immobilized. I think the priests are more or less okay where they stand. I'm spreading things out a little bit. I'm not looking to lose a huge amount of units here for to the immobilization, especially the priests. I'm gonna leave a couple of infantry squads to stay with the command group. Would be a sort of pathetic way to lose them. Your command group because it was left alone somewhere. I'm a little bit worried about how much infantry they brought with them, but not too much. I think we've gotten fairly good at dealing with infantry in general. Plenty of experience from the previous mission. Shermans. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to push these forward too much. Other engineering group. Everyone get the fuck away from the road. It'll take quite a bit of movement to cross this rougher mountainous terrain though. And it might be worth our time to shoot some smoke here, because these guys are gonna get annihilated by the enemy tanks if I don't do something. Where did the smoke hit? Not a bad location. Yeah, not exactly what I wanted, but surely you have smoke. There you go. Mobilized. A lot of infantry coming too. Not that accurate at shooting targets. Spotting the infantry is a very good thing though. It will change the nature of the fight here. A couple of tanks lost, a couple of tanks immobilized, a little bit of infantry shooting. So I think this is a good opportunity to push forward. And there's quite a lot of infantry coming from other locations. So, yeah, I think the main point is to try to push through. Ready, immobilized, destroyed. Everything's. Ooh, there's a routed tank there. Well, that's no good. Treating, excellent. I'd rather use the scout. I don't have the mobility to move there. Right. What do we see? I think we need to take positions here with the vehicles spread around a little bit. There's probably going to be a fairly substantial wave of infantry coming. We also need to start conserving shots, so we survive that. Infantry out in general. There's a retreating tank here. Let's kill the crew. Push forward. I want to see more, and the infantry is a much better sacrificial unit. Nothing too bad. The important thing is that the T-34s here didn't react to shit. And that's a lot of suppression we can cause them. I'm killing my own men. Fuck it. Sorry, dudes. Ooh. Ho 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 ho. Yeah, you're so fucking boned. Don't think we want to conserve ammunition necessarily on this particular turn, though. They're all aiming for this. There's probably a similar group coming through the mountain area. They are retreating, pinned, routed. Yeah, the casualties, tank casualties here are definitely making a difference. Retreating button. Yeah, this is oh shit. We definitely need to conserve shots. Pin, pin, pin. There's not really a chance of withdrawal. That's something to keep in mind. If we drop marines, we could also hold our ground a little bit. We could smoke the nearby areas, but again, that's the last goddamn thing I really need to do. Okay, maybe start this from a different angle. Basically, anyone outside this situation who could lend some fire support. I think we should be firing. The units here are in grave danger, so the units remaining a little bit to the rear are probably just contribute as much as they possibly can. And that's all I can move. Seriously? I can fire once, then I need to conserve shots. They can easily attack me here. But that'll probably help. Ooh, they have engineers this time. That's quite a bit worse than just rifle squads. So no to the ammo conservation. I think we have the luxury for it. Yeah, I just can't see anything. You see 10 enemy infantry squads. You are so dead. Well, hopefully he has the common sense to actually retreat. Not sure I want to drop infantry here. It's a pretty bad location. There's so much of it. So I am not sure any infantry has all that much of a chance of surviving here. Okay, we'll keep conserving a single shot with these vehicles. They should at least, well, they really are not in a good firing location. Right. But this could see here, which is very helpful. The units trapped there. Okay, it's not that bad then. What I need to do is bring... shit. We're at H0. All the aircraft there. Just don't care. They're probably going to choose other targets to shoot at anyway. What we also need is mortars. There's no real risk at hitting anything useful there, so let's keep firing. Right. Can you retreat at all? There are too many tanks here, that's the main issue. I can't push through to them because of the huge amount of infantry, so I think it's much better just to pull back. The crew needs to be killed. We just have to hope that this infantry has the common sense to drop smoke and run. That's pretty much the only thing we can hope for. This guy's all alone here, that Persian. No. Yes. Infantry out. I have two Persian tanks here. I could pull back the other, but not both. So basically additional units need to rush in there to cover his ass. H0 will be one of them. Yeah, get rid of the crew. I don't want it to see anything. It'll just make it easier for the additional enemy units to rush us. Anti-air units will go infantry hunting. Just want to have units here that are capable of reacting to something. Could be bad for us if tanks decide to come here and have a visit, but the priests have at least a possibility of taking care of those too. I don't really see a reason why we shouldn't be pushing forward. We have plenty of time, but there's the but. I do think we probably will want to start dropping infantry. Uh, It'll be vital when the infantry squads will start to arrive at us, and they certainly have the capability of doing that now already. So it's a possibility. I don't recall seeing the enemy Sherman group though. In our Sherman group. What do you want to do with the... Right, things don't look particularly bad, and even at this pace, we can push through some units fairly quickly. That will be enough. We do want to get here and get the mortars fairly quickly. Yeah, this is the question mark. How badly is this gonna guy? It's please retreat, just immediately. It's obvious that you can't possibly survive this. So there's... yeah. Another tank gone. Another tank gone. Failed assaults from the Marine Corps. Very uneventful turn in my opinion. I expect a lot more from the enemy. I'm gonna spread the Corsair attacks a little bit. Not too much. Right, what the hell happened here? There's still a tank there. Why the fuck are you not hitting it? It's right there, right next to you. It definitely had an effect on the infantry, but not too big of an effect. Kill the crew if you can. And pull back. He has no shot, so no point sacrificing him. We'll shove a leader there. That will more than place him. We have a couple of Persians in that area already. Don't need another. Do we have a scout here? I don't want to push it forward. Better to sacrifice it than a heavier tank at this point. Should be more enemy tanks. Yeah, we have quite a lot of anti-tank capability here. This also showcases that having a huge amount of units here is not actually a good thing, because the infantry tried to assault the tanks instead of the tank destroyers, which is ridiculous. They don't even have an anti-tank weapon. Hmm. Yeah, I think it's still fairly important to keep in mind that we do have to try to push forward here. It's not good enough for us to just sit still and wait. We can attack a reasonable amount of units here. Prioritize engineer squads. I haven't been exactly too impressed with the anti-tank weaponry their normal rifle squads have, so I don't care about those. But engineers, that's a different matter. They can always take down the tanks. And now the smoke starts. I think I'll keep the infantry mostly where they are, unless I have a overriding reason to try to do something with them. They're fairly well protected in this mountainous terrain. Also, it's going to be pretty difficult to try to do anything constructive against enemy groups here. So, might as well just sword position. Shoot at targets of opportunity. Routed crew, don't care. A routed crew is not a threat. Start harassing their mortars. For all the good that'll do. Ooh, we definitely need to leave here soon. Fire is not gonna do us any favors. Okay, do we have a scout unit of some sort here? We have a scout unit close by, I think. I need to try to push forward at least one area so I'm not in the fire. K4! Has to be. Oh no, no one's in a position to really do a goddamn thing. Wonderful. Okay, I guess it's light tanks after this. Shafi group. No, you are not in a good position to do a goddamn thing. Ooh, new targets. Light tanks seem to have great visibility. I mean, spotting capability. They see much more than the scout vehicle, for example. Ah, shit. What do we see? At least there are no tanks here, so that's something. I think I'll save my shots and push forward. Enter the crew. Right. Everything in this hex basically has to move it if it has the capability of doing so. It is not a place we want to be in. But where to move here, really? Yeah, the suppression is starting to be a problem. Anywhere but being burned alive here, so I'll take this. We want to move the Sherman still. You have infantry. Bring the infantry up. Right. If they have any more tanks here they want to drive through, it's going to be a pretty tough deal for them. Okay. Seeing a lot of new units. Engineers again. Still, it's not a problem. We have way too many tanks here for it to be a problem. Yeah, you are burning this to the ground, so don't go there. Hmm. Looks like we're pretty much done. I need to check who's still in the burning hex. Pershings. Yep, definitely get the fuck out. Jacksons. Did I just not move these for some reason? Apparently I didn't. Okay, where's the artillery? Aircraft are landing at a little bit too close, but they might still only hit the enemy. We'll see. They don't have bombs anymore, so it's more or less. They couldn't hurt my. Ooh, they immobilized something. They couldn't hurt my tanks even if they tried. So it's mostly suppression fire they do, or maybe kill some infantry. They're prepping this area for us to make an assault there. We killed some infantry. Yeah, we know this game from the previous mission. Again, not much happening. They're in fairly good condition. I mean, they've rallied fairly well, so it's pretty much impossible to just push through them. And there's more infantry just coming in, pouring in, I would say. So we do have to somehow be able to make progress. The current 1 hex per turn pretty much is not acceptable. That's not going to get us anywhere. Okay, where's the bombarding landing? This is fairly good because it keeps the infantry a little bit suppressed when we're trying to get through here. I'm not sure it's the best location for us to fire on. I think we should try to spread things about, because we do want to push through here, and I don't want to sit in my own artillery for concentration. Aircraft, I don't want to bombard or shoot the bridge, that would be catastrophic. I think I'm gonna focus on trying to harass the 120 millimeter mortars. Right, and we do have to push on. What do you see? Don't care what you see. Will the T-34 fire? Okay, how bad is it if we move forward? It is basically dead. We're gonna die. There's way too much engineers this time, so it's not just shitty assaults failing, 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 and failing. We might want to give thought about trying to push through with pretty much anything we have. Okay, I think the sides pushing forward makes the most sense. Yeah. Uh, Actually, not pushing forward necessarily, but pushing through, leaving these guys to fight the fight here. That's never, pretty much never ending. So I should have saved my shots. What's done is done. How much smoke do they have here? Yeah, there's just a ridiculous amount of it. I think I have to see the smoke, otherwise I can't really make good decisions here. The south is fairly unsmoked, so I think we should try to focus on pushing through there if we can. Infantry! Don't retreat. Do not retreat. Can't really move forward, but that's okay. What we do need is to see these guys. I'd like to fire there with machine guns only, because it automatically affects all the squads there. A gun will not do that. Perfect. Can't see shit. A lot of ready squads. Ooh, this might... L4. I'll start with a Shafi, disable the gun, and fire 3 machine guns into this. That probably gets the best results. Wrong squad, whatever. And more smoke. L4. Right, Mr. L4, what are we gonna do with you? I think we are definitely pushing some to just go around these. I don't see any other viable alternative really for us. Right. Survivors disperse. That's what I want to see. Hmm. Right, I think there's the engineering squad that caused us trouble is there, and we can't really see it. We'll have to go through these units again. Right, I don't want to leave the Sherman alone. Hmm. Don't want to leave anyone alone in this situation. Even the best case scenario, there's very likely going to be multiple groups attacking us, no matter where we go. Other scouts. This is a good opportunity to get rid of a lot of infantry at the same time. Who do you see? Routed and retreating. I don't know if I want to fire on any of them. We do see someone. A button T-34. Right. Well, that's shit. Even still, if I go there with anything, we're gonna eat a satchel charge and a flamethrower. So it doesn't really matter who goes there. He's gonna be boned. If I stay here, the T-34, which is immobilized, so it's not gonna move there, is gonna screw me over. So unless I can, he didn't fire upon us, so we could use probably move a tank there and try to take it out. Jackson preferably. They don't have a lot of anti-infantry capability, but they can fire upon a tank just as well as any. Ah, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Also, if the engineers try to move forward here, the infantry will absolutely slaughter them. Infantry squads, I should say. Can you move? Yeah, the infantry can pretty much move a single hex here. That's pretty bad. Unless we go on the road, which is also pretty bad. No casualties caused. Holy shit. I don't think this group is gonna do much. The problem is that all the group has. There's a good chance they have extra guys somewhere I can't see. So it'd be nice if we could suppress them, kill them a little bit more. Survivors disperse. We killed a crew though, so it's no one gives a shit what happened with the crew. What is this? A Shafi. Yeah, we should fire on the infantry if we can see it. Rifle squad or not, it's still gonna waste shots from the vehicle, so if we can drive it away, better. These guys will just simply not move anywhere, I think. Or rather, we shouldn't. These are our flags after all, and we do have to defend them. So having some units there is not a huge problem. And I'm not sure I want to waste my time fighting the mortars here. Need to make some moves. And you! No one died. Hmm. Shoot at something. Engineers have suffered more than 50% casualties. Yeah, just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Okay, there's still quite a few units here, and it might be better if we could at least push some of them forward. Is there a point going there? Ooh, we can get the engineers that are ambushing us here. Perfect. Still, that's a bit risky, so, but at least there's potential now to move forward. Right. I'm focusing on the engineers, they're the much bigger threat. Kill the crew, some engineers. Yeah, I think this is fine. They're still in fairly good condition. I'm seeing a lot of routed and retreating units though. The important thing is I'm more than ready to push on here now. And it doesn't look like there's much of a reason not to push forward. Firing on engineers. Always engineers. We can get casualties with the rest, that's nice, but engineers are my big problem here. Right. I don't know if the Jacksons were a good purchase. Not in a mission like this at least. Might still prove to be useful. I think I might be able to move with the Sherman battle group, but that's about it. Yeah, I think pretty much everyone else has moved already. One Shappy. Hmm, not bad. I think we're still gonna stay here. Or are we? Oh fuck. It flamed forward my ass. Still, it didn't destroy me. And I got a good indication of what's coming in front of us. Yeah, we need to pull back, but things aren't that bad. Okay, definitely need to get around this. We cannot possibly just move forward through the road. It's not going to work. Probably said that before, but now we know why, more or less. Ah, where's the Sherman group? Somewhere in the middle of that smoke screen. Might need anti-tank capabilities with the groups going around these, so maybe spread the joy around. There's a lot of heavy tanks. Oh shit. I cancel that? No. I can't cancel it because I spotted new enemies. But that would have been a great place to shoot a little bit. P5s. So the P platoon could still be useful for us. They might be able to fire on some of the enemy concentrations. You specifically. Nope. Why not? Definitely want to shoot there. There's just so many targets there. We'll pull back, but the shots will still be worthwhile. And some engineers. Go and take your shots. Two targets. Well, we shoot what we can. This will pretty much double the amount of casualties we're causing in these groups. If we just wait till for them to attack, we're gonna cause a couple of couple of casualties per group, which just simply is not enough. Am I bombarding stupid places? I don't think so. Yeah, this is more of a harassment thing now. Oh shit! Oh, it's just a mortar. It can be trouble, but it's not that major. Harassing my infantry. Not much I can do about that. Again, a fairly good turn. We're not even at the halfway point yet, and I feel like for the most part the mission has ended. The critical fighting has basically been done. That's more or less it. Now it's just a cleanup job. But we should not be too careless with this. There's a lot of units left. So getting to the area here is not gonna be that easy. Also, the direct fire of the mortars is probably good enough to destroy weaker scouter units. Again, does someone see something? I don't think it's healthy for us to go scouting around too much. They recover so goddamn well. There was retreat and routing all around the last time, and now even the units that are halfway destroyed are pretty much just pinned. So it's the best possible situation that they could still achieve. No new targets. Yes, we are spreading our influence a little bit. Only a little. Still, I'll take that little. It's better than what we've been doing previously here. I think I might have destroyed an enemy squad. Did I? It's pretty hard to say here what's going on. Okay. A lot of rifle squads coming our way. Not so sure I should save the shot here. We have plenty of other units that can do the defensive part, and it's a rough terrain here, so the infantry couldn't move 2 hexes here. Almost no one can move 2 hexes in this terrain. We're a little bit suppressed, and the engineer can't really do all that much about it. It cannot fire back to those ranges. So go back into the smoke. And we do not want to get stuck in the infantry here, so hello infantry that we're stuck on. Holy shit, that's gonna be... we could cause a lot of casualties here. No, the terrain they're in is too rough. Holy shit, don't retreat. Do not, yes, this unit is basically done for now. Oh look, more smoke. I think we got rid of a engineering squad, so that's at least something. Really not much we can do here. And we're so close to them now that they can certainly assault us, so we'll have to save our shots. If we go forward, there's gonna be a swarm of enemies waiting for us, very likely. Still, can't stay here, so forward we must go. This guy's alone, so I'll save 2 shots. What can we do? We sort of want to get rid of the infantry right next to us. That's something we won't be able to suppress before it already attacks. really isn't all that much we can do. I really wish I would fire there. If I go to that place, I'll basically be stuck there. So that's a pretty risky move to make. We do see enemy infantry. Might as well fire on it. And I don't really see a point in saving my shots, since we're so far away from the action. Where are we firing at? There's a ready infantry somewhere here. Rifle squad. More ready squads. We need to retain our reaction shots. It's the terrain. It's too rough to really get any good casualties on infantry units. Holy shit, motherload. Other units can reach that too. I don't want to rush there. Can I go here? Another engineering squad. Nice casualties. And smoke. Doesn't particularly matter though, we can definitely bring other units here to support this guy. A lot of infantry casualties. At least these guys are in a fairly good position to cause, again, infantry casualties. Although I seem to be whipping them a little bit in the wrong direction. I'm whipping them towards the road. It's not something we want to do. At the same time, I'm not sure exactly do I have a huge amount of options here. Four targets. Ooh, I don't know if I want to shoot with the cannon on the bridge. I'm a little bit concerned about that. It is a good location to fire now though. There are multiple infantry units right on top of each other and we need to go over the bridge anyway sooner or later. Otherwise I could take down a mortar. No, the infantry is more important. To push through the bridge soon. So we have more or less an infantry squad at half health there. The smoke isn't doing me any favors though. Can I push forward? Not really. Hmm. No real casualties, but I suppressed them enough that I don't think their infantry can really do much. Jackson. Another Jackson. Okay, how many... Okay, there's I think 2 Persians here. I'd like to at least keep one of them there, so about 2. So you can go here and aid your friends here. Right, this is more or less preventing the enemy from using the road to get to our flags. Once the sides can see what the hell's behind that smoke, then we can move through from the center. You can go and reinforce him, and I don't know what the hell you're gonna do. Go there for some reason. Shoot what you can. There are 2 infantry squads here. Right, so we're gonna shift the mortars again. It's not a huge deal where exactly they land, but they don't look to be enough. I don't want to accidentally fire on our own units. It's not worth it. Five men killed. Survivors disperse. 4 men. One man. Yeah, they're trying to shove engineering squads up down our throats here. But mostly, again, fairly inefficient attacks. No casualties on our side, and their mortars cease to direct fire on our units too. So there really isn't all that much worth mentioning going on anymore. Um, so we're just gonna pick a target and start shooting. The aircraft, it doesn't really matter what targets the aircraft shoot. I'm going to try to choose targets that are not in the rough terrain simply because I would like to get casualties now and then. Can you do direct fire with the mortars? I mean, do they have any targets worth shooting at? Probably not. Yeah, they have. This would be much more useful for me than randomly just firing in blindly there. Well, in theory, it's more useful. What's the current situation's enemy force? There's pinned. Yeah, they've rallied fairly effectively, and they have a huge army still coming our way. When I see their HQ unit, I think we're doing fairly well. It's just going in blindly, really. Did not want to do that. If infantry does anything here, there's going to be an immediate reaction. There's another squad there, I don't know what it's going to be. I'll do an indirect fire. I'm using this as a scout now, which is not a good idea. I think the center here might be open. The hell is there? Okay, not bad. A lot of targets to choose from. Engineers first. Just save your shots. Still. I think I'll save a single shot. We can probably harass and suppress these quite substantially now. Got out of the cloud bank. Come on. Yeah, that's a decent amount of casualties. I really don't want any squad right next to us, so go away. And they didn't drop any more smoke. I don't think they have more than one smoke. So that's where most of the initial drops happen. They withdrew and now they can't do it again. Is this safe to go to? Sort of. I need to save a shot. Everyone's gotta save a shot. I think that's pretty much it. We are saving the shot, but we are saving a shot. We're not saving multiple shots. Want to push forward, cause extra casualties. Fresh squad sign. They drop smoke. Okay, we push the line forward a few hexes again. And we can choose what? A couple of engineering squads that are nowhere near us. No thanks. The enemy here is routed, so we don't really have to worry about them. Why did you dive there, you piece of shit? Why in the fucking hell would you go next to an engineering squad when there's free? Oh. Oh. Jesus fuck. One hex at a time. That's how you do it. One hex at a time. Okay, can someone see something useful? Ready squads, for example. Right. Definitely too risky to really move anything. I don't recall how I dealt this the first time. Right. Engineering squad. Apparently, since we have no self-preservation instincts, we'll have to do it this way. 5 targets. Nothing particularly interesting though. I can't just ignore these and push through. I think if I do that, we're gonna be left in a very nasty situation here. God damn it. Fresh engineering squad. Gotta suppress it fairly thoroughly. Engineering squads don't seem to be quite so eager to drop smoke. Not sure even, do they even have smoke? Not that it matters too much, just wondering. Okay. They start to be nice big concentrations here. Okay, 4 targets for you. You can see targets on the bridge, which is not particularly helpful for me. I think we moved here and fired on the engineering squad, something along those lines. That allows us to move through here. Well, it would actually get some kills going. Well, we did successfully do that to the engineering squad. What about here? Other things? Retreating and ready squads. A lot of casualties. And you need to save a shot. Survivors disperse. We yeah, I think we want to move, even though there's a lot of action we need to go here. We want to push through, but we can't just. If I try to go in the middle of these units, that's what happened when I fucked up the previous mission. It basically any kind of action will screw over your unit. It's not a good place to be. And we're dead. Not quite, but close enough. Okay, that was fairly bad for us. Could have been worse. Still, it was pretty bad. Flamethrower attack like that is gonna cause a huge amount of problems even if it fails. So. 5 men killed. The engineering squad is killed. Yes. You're gonna get a single shot at the enemy group here. The engineers? No, just infantry. Lots of infantry squads, rifle squads. Lots and lots and lots of squads. We use the infantry to shoot the ones in the rough terrain. It's definitely a big problem trying to kill these guys with vehicles. Hopefully the infantry has a little bit better chance. Doesn't look like it though. Ooh, 7 killed. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Scout. Play K0 Scout, right. We could push there. Well, no, we can't. Survivors disperse. Survivors disperse. Yeah, I think we just need to focus on getting rid of the squads that are right in front of our main path. Handling these is someone else's problem. Could go in there, drop some infantry. I think that's a horrible idea. Infantry is naturally going to be screwed over, but that's a lot of good they could do here. Yeah, Chinese squad down. Immediate suppression action. But it's important to notice that suppression action comes from units on the bridge. So they don't seem to have anything nearby that could do this. Survivors disperse. Ooh, engineers. Yeah, the infantry here is done. They're packed so tightly that there's no way they can effectively wear me out anymore. It's the exact opposite at this point. Few shots here and they're basically done for. Entire armies of infantry made useless. Still, there's a lot of them. So many. Hmm. Survivors disperse. Okay. I think we should start firing on the units on the bridges if we can do it. Yeah, we're through the smoke. Hmm. I still don't want to use a Persian to move forward here. There's without a doubt we cannot see all the infantry yet. And they're going to get their shit together to some extent no matter what we do. So, you two just try to hold your ground there. Their squads are in way too good of a condition to just start some kind of a army-wide rout at this point. It's not happening. Something else needs to happen. Getting rid of their HQ is probably something that could do it. I doubt it though, not with this many infantry squads still active. Ooh shit. Yeah, this is a bit of a risky position to be in. I would at least have to drive that guy away. Yeah, this guy doesn't really move anymore. It's in a fairly good position, but it's gonna be in that good position and die there. Not much we can do. I think one more kill on that one and it'll disperse. Does anyone even have shots anymore? Some infantry. Still, it's not all about the shots. I think we're done. So, how about the artillery now? Corsairs can go after whatever they want. It's probably just going to silence the mortar they're shooting for a turn or two. Perfect. They're more or less just harassing my units that are already disabled and can't contribute anything to the main fighting. Routed, reading routed. Yeah, there's a couple of new squads coming in, but most of the infantry we see here is pretty much out of action. There's a couple of pinned engineering squads and ready squad, but for the most part, I don't expect a huge amount of trouble on this turn. I don't see where trouble come from, basically. Naturally, there's always a possibility that you don't see the units, but you don't see them. How the hell could you prepare to? Ooh, there it is. There it is. This is more in line with what I expected. We need to cause them to use their smoke now. These units can pretty much take care of the infantry that we sort of pile up there. Survivors disperse. I'm fairly confident things will start snowballing at this point in our favor. Yeah, that was a mistake. Not big enough of a mistake for me to really give two shits about it at this point. The engineering squad there has to be shot at. That's a lot of infantry casualties. Engineers are pinned. Yeah, the engineers didn't suffer all that many casualties. Okay, we need to start attacking these then. I move a little bit, and I lost the shot. I guess I'll stay here and with my last shot in store. Ready engineering squad. In rifle squad. Retreating engineering squad could still react, so a bit of extra suppression there. And you can't see shit. There's no point saving a shot here if we're going to push forward with other units. So are we? Probably yes, so might as well shoot at something. Intact unit, so I'm surprised it didn't fire smoke. More infantry. Ah. Ready engineering squad. Hmm. Looks like our progress has stopped pretty much entirely again. Shoot at engineers if you can. There are multiple infantry squads in that hex where the engineer is. Going here first with infantry is pretty much suicide, so I'll pass. Cause a lot of infantry casualties here. Or not. Terrible shooting. Several infantry squads destroyed. What about you? Survivors disperse. Progress is pretty much slowed here. But I should be able to push a little bit more forward. Shit. We have a single light tank here on its own, seeing 15 enemies. That's not a healthy place to be in. Should be able to cause significant amount of casualties in the infantry there. Right, what else? Do we want to maybe suppress engineers? Seems like the thing to do. An engineer squad pulled back from here. It wasn't the one we fired on. Okay, another light tank in a fairly good position. Uh, right, we can probably get enough units here that they have no real chance of pushing us back. This guy could cause a lot of casualties. Do we want to suppress or go for kills? Kills, probably. Suppressing doesn't really matter with a gigantic swarm of units the enemy has here. We just need to fully get rid of them. A couple of squads destroyed fully. 3 squads, in fact. Hmm. Engineers pulling back. If I can get rid of this squad, I can probably bring units forward from the smoke. At least, if not now, then on the next turn. And we do need to start moving across the bridge very, very soon. So I can't just sit around here waiting to do something and to get things done. Sort of thinking maybe leaving some infantry on these flags. I don't really see why not. With this amount of smoke, there could always be a unit here and there hidden there where I just simply can't see it. Survivors disperse. Excellent. More of that, please. Mm, more casualties. We have enough units here that are basically capable of responding to any enemy attack. Not everyone has to save shots at that point. I'm going to try to push through the smoke a little bit. I can't really see the units I really should be firing upon. Shoot what we can. I really don't like the Jacksons. I don't. They're sort of fine, but they're still too expensive for me to really lose in these missions, so why not just go for the Persians? We would get, they're a little bit slower, but you would get the same cannon and many, many more machine guns. I just don't know. I do want to give them more chances, though. I don't want to try to change them now. It would be fairly expensive anyway, so I'm not too keen on doing that, but I can afford it. But there could be much more tank-heavy missions to come. I'm having doubts about that, though. Because I keep waiting for the tanks-heavy missions to come, but they never do. So at least, I think at some point we'll just going to have to admit that they're never going to arrive. I'm still hoping some kind of wave of any Chinese units, but we're sort of facing these constantly. They're just not what I expected them to be. I think we have quite a bit more tanks here now that they have functional infantry anymore. So yeah, be able to make decent progress soon. Engineers gone. Excellent. Am I bombarding stupid locations? I don't think so. I'm not really expecting casualties from this, but hopefully it'll keep the suppressed infantry further suppressed. There's not even notable infantry assaults coming our way anymore, and they're firing on some kind of random infantry squad all alone in the wilderness. I have no idea what they're thinking. I suppose it doesn't really matter. We'll keep sending the aircraft as long as we have ammunition for them. I'll set the artillery after we've moved everything. Okay. Just looking around a bit, seeing if we have the capability of spotting trouble before we drive into it. Right. For the most part, it seems like there's a couple of rotted and ready and fiend units, but mostly they're done. So I'm not expecting too much trouble here. What we want to do is clear the road and the surrounding areas to the best of our ability, so someone can get through. Pinned engineering squad can still function. More smoke, thank you. Next. It's not quite so simple, especially here there are still units capable of acting, so I need to defend my tanks against them. I'm not sure how much progress I can make with the main tank group here. Especially wary about the retreating engineer squads. Fibers disperse. Pinned engineers, retreating engineers, very risky to rush in there. Pinned engineers. Ready rifle squad. Ah, crap. Not sure what I should do with these. They don't have a... They're not good against infantry, but they don't also have too much to do here. Ah, priest, thank God. If I move forward, they'll definitely attack us. So I guess I'll make sure the engineers are further suppressed. Yeah, now they're packed in a location where I don't think they'll retreat anymore. So they're basically thoroughly boned at that location. Survivors disperse. I sort of want to keep just pushing them back squad by squad. That way we can pile them up into large stacks and cause massive amount of casualties with very few shots. There we go. Right, now it's looking a little bit better. Routed. Right, unless we're pretty much right on top of them, we cannot cause casualties to infantry in rough terrain. Just not happening. I'm not too eager to go right next to them either. There might not be risk to it, but we also have very little reason to take that little not risk either. There could be something to it, and there's not much I can do if I just go right on top of them. This is potentially a good opportunity to kill a lot of people. Someone could have easily pressed that. Yep. Didn't really pay attention to it. Because you can't fire at it from that position. Okay, that's why I have ignored it apparently. No. Okay, what the hell was the unit I moved here? Pretty sure it was a Shafi. No, you can't fire at it. Okay, this is Ah, right. Okay. This is an anti-infantry weapon through and through, so this is potentially very ugly for them. A couple of infantry squads totally wiped out. As casualties overall. Yeah, do I want to kill these? I suppose I should. Yeah, there's a lot of infantry casualties. A couple of squads wiped out, and nice. We could shoot at the ready squads here. Not sure if there's much point to it though. Want to defend the gains we've made. Same time, pulling back a little might not be the worst idea ever. No casualties on anyone. Even here, things are starting to settle down now. Squads are being wiped out properly. Not sure I want to aggressively push forward. I suppose I could, but we couldn't really get good support on the units that go. Better to take it nice and easy. We achieved a lot on this turn too. I don't see how they could really make any kind of gains anymore. They are starting to just simply lack the numbers. Okay. Definitely want to move the mortar fire. I don't think a mortar can even in theory fire enough of a explosive shot to destroy or harm the bridge. Still, I'm sort of leaning toward maybe be cautious about that. Same with the main guns of the tanks. That would be pretty embarrassing if that happened. Two damaged squads tried to assault us on this turn. That's it. But we also have only 5 turns left, so now we need to start actually making real gains. We need to disable the ready squads. One pin squads here causing trouble. Routed we can ignore with our fire. It's ready and kin that must have pushed a lot of infantry here. Right, that's pretty bad. The tank fire seems to be irrelevant about to these. So, oh shit, that's pretty bad. Actually, yes, that is pretty bad. Let me try something else. Can we target the further away unit first? If there's gonna be smoke... Yes, so... Shafi would be nice. Thanks. So start here and move closer. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Someone shot you with a rifle and you're shitting your pants. Whatever. So damage squad, so they don't really use smoke anymore. This is going to be the first squad that is gonna use smoke. As long as these guys are routed, that's actually fine. They didn't do it yet. Going to use the lighter vehicles to avoid harming the bridge. We have a Shafi. Two ready squads. At least they're retreating. So it's, as far as I can see, it's pretty much a done deal now. I suppose they could have hidden units, but even then. If it's not an engineering unit, I don't think it matters too much. I'm not saving shots, not with this group. I have trouble believing that there's a huge amount of infantry still waiting for us if we move forward. There is a retreating unit, and one squad at least pointing their facing in our direction, so that's something. Also, I noticed our ready unit. Don't know what it is though. Could be their HQ, I suppose. Maybe I misread it. There should be a lot more units here though, like a almost literal carpet of units. They're pretty much done already. I don't see these guys offering too much resistance. We're dispersing survivors. There's not really a lot of fight in them. I think we should go full in and just kill as many as we can. It's sort of harmless not to do that though. I mean, saving your one extra shot isn't gonna slow us down too much, and it's quite a bit of a safety feature with the vehicles and this much infantry. So I think it's sort of foolish also to use all your shots. But there's a lot of units coming this way, so in that sense I don't care. There's gonna be a front squad or two that have a few shots left. Not everyone who goes in here has to save their shots. We're getting a decent amount of casualties out of kills out of these. Be good for our experience. What can you shoot? These guys? Okay, we can't quite reach the guys here. Okay, we have one priest acting as our defensive unit here. I think that's good enough. Because if it's going to react fire there, it's going to cause a lot of damage. We're mostly seeing mortars. The infantry is pretty much worthless as far as I can tell. Might be a limit of how many units can fit on the bridge. I think we should exercise some caution in this case. Not bring in units that have no shots in there. It would be sort of stupid to block the entire bridge with something like that. We could push further forward, but I don't think that's really a problem. Yeah, I just don't see them having all that many infantry squads remaining anymore. Not above or beyond what we already see, at least. And now the survivors are starting to disperse with their few remaining squads. That's pretty much a done deal. Has no shots. Also, these units are not part of the core army, so probably wouldn't hurt to not use them aggressively to get the kill shots on the enemy squad. I mean, what would be the point? I'm using the Shermans as backup for the units that have already moved forward, just in case the enemy wants to make some kind of counter-offensive. Don't think I want to move the infantry too much anymore. They're fairly slow and not gonna achieve much anyway. Still, we only have 5 turns left. So we do want to throw quite a bit of troops into the attack if that's an option. I must have accidentally clicked on something. They destroy the bridge now, that's gonna be a catastrophe for me. It's pretty much the only catastrophe they could possibly still have waiting for me, though. I don't really think I want to use the mortars anymore. I don't see the benefit. We're just going to rush the remaining mortars and flags as quickly as possible. I doubt we don't have to worry too much about units waiting in ambush. The HQ unit is probably the only thing still waiting us there. So hopefully we can wrap this up in a couple of turns. No bombardment anymore. Just next ooh, I have something. Couple of squads. One might even be a fresh squad. It wasn't. Lightly damaged squad or injured squad. Still, it's retreating, so that's the important point. Oh, I don't see anything. Do we have a light tank somewhere? Yeah, this might actually see the enemy. Okay, I'll take it back. They still have a decent amount of crap coming our way. So, wrong target. Shit, don't fire smoke. Yeah, thanks. HQ unit. Fun. I guess I'm not sure if we're gonna stay here. Units on the other side might be able to fire support fire there. That's significant casualties on anyone who was there. Not significant enough though. So I want to push forward, aggressively forward at this point. So this is not good enough. Oh. No, they're all routed. Doesn't really matter what we shoot here. Yeah, there's no resistance left anymore. Uh, 20 kills. Yeah, this is gonna be an elite unit. It's gonna be super funny when I lose it. I think we should focus on fire. Fuck it. Just fire at something, don't care what. What the hell did I press? There should be more units here, but I don't really see a point in trying to go hunt them. We already have units here. If they can't spot them, then we might as well let them go. Enemy HQ, kill it. Did not kill it. Killed something else. Kill the HQ. That's pretty much the last nail in their coffin. They can't possibly hold any kind of a reasonable defense anymore. Not moving infantry is more or less a waste of time at this point. Any chance of seeing something? No. So if you don't see anything, just stay where you are. Again, not sure about the idea of giving kills to these. They have a huge amount of kills and they're still regular units. I'd like them to at least be veteran, because if we get enemy aircraft, it would be a huge increase in our chance to actually down some of them. No, we definitely are gonna move a Shafi. Even a damaged one, they have the mobility to be very useful. Then we have to go after needless weak enemies. They just need to go out for the flags. Holy shit, still infantry. If that's the case, I'm gonna save a shot with this guy. There could be other little infantry surprises waiting for us. In fact, can you become a body there? With 2 units defending, I think we should be okay against minor infantry counterattacks. Even at best speed, it's gonna take a while for us to reach the flags. The terrain is just too rough. Perfect. Unless they do direct fire on our units, they're not gonna kill anything. Yeah, they're doing direct fire. Immobilized? Yeah, that's a threat. They could certainly maybe even destroy some of the lighter units. I don't know how much I care. I mean, because I don't think it will make much of an impact either way. Still, we're gonna shoot at everything we possibly can, so... just to silence them. I think we should let the light tanks go for the flags. Everyone else just spread around and try to get whatever mortar they can. Retreating or routing. Those are acceptable conditions on the mortars. Nothing else really is. Survivors disperse. Okay, what the hell could you possibly see? 5 targets. Might as well shoot at the infantry. We have to drive past it anyway. And it's below 50% casualty line, so it'll probably resist our passing quite a bit. Unless we fix that. Don't really see anything worthwhile. Well, you can't move, so you might as well shoot, I guess. Infantry squad destroyed. Anything with you? Any ready unit that you can find, suppression fire. Light tanks can do their close quarters killing if necessary. Alright, we can definitely get all the flags on the next turn. There's at least a couple of light tanks going there. Mortar destroyed. These 3 mortars are the only ones who can still do something. I don't think they can maintain their activity either. Can I shoot at anyone? Holy shit, more infantry. That's a good spotting thing though. That means there could be a lot of infantry still coming our way. Well, not probably a huge mass, but certainly enough that I should be saving some shots. Maybe you can go and cover them. Just means I'm going to have to hold on some shots again. Ah, crap. That's pretty much it. Yes. Next turn is likely the last or second to last turn. It'll end immediately at the moment we get the flags. Okay, destroy the scout. I think that's acceptable casualties. I'm at least not interested in loading just because that happened. But we do need to get the flags. We have the flags. So I would say the mission definitely ends after I press enter. How many kills can we still get? Definitely not saving any shots at this point. I'm also not too eager to just chase these guys blindly. If there is an infantry squad there, it would still ruin my day by causing a high valued unit to die. Not worth the risk. Ran out of high explosive ammunition. Yes. Another downside to these units, they don't have the ammunition storage the Persians have. Still, they managed to do their job fairly well, but if I had more of the M36 Jacksons, I could not have handled these type of missions because they use amount of infantry. Something to be aware of. It might be okay unit, but it's not a good unit for what we have to do in these missions. It'd be good if we would have to face large quantities of tanks for whatever reason. We could do it with an equivalent gun to the Persian, except we could cut our costs quite substantially. Probably with about 33%. You're dead. Our last Chaffee. One extra mortar kill. Thank you very much. I think they're worth like 4 points. Not exactly a huge deal, but I'll take it. Will compensate for the loss of the scout. Should be a few extra vehicles still left. Well, I suppose I could go here. Just to get a little bit of a payback on these guys. For what it's worth. I'm not gonna be able to destroy a mortar, but a few extra guys killed there. Priest. We could still maybe get into a position to fire on a couple of OK targets. Which don't really matter at all. And we're done. Not a horrible mission, but again, it really ended a long time ago. 37 infantrymen lost, 1 scout vehicle. They lost 15 vehicles. They have that many. I don't recall. 10 mortars. I don't think they had 15 tanks. What the hell could have they been? But they must have. Huh? But yeah, it's pretty much 50% of all tanks we've faced so far. It's quite a lot. Also, almost another 1,000 Chinese dead. Thanks to your brilliant efforts, our troops have crossed the Yalu River in force. Other UN forces exploited the bridgehead and cut off the supplies to several Chinese armies. This forced China to pull out of the war and allow United Nations to unify Korea into one country. You are being assigned to liaison between the UN forces and the new democratic administration being put into place in what was North Korea. Semper Fi. So, campaign success. I don't see how this could possibly continue anymore. Right, end of North Korean campaign. In holy shit infantry waves. That's the only campaign though that's anywhere near the Second World War. Golan Heights was the other low-tech campaign, and that was missiles and tanks campaign. Everything else is definitely in the 80s, so that's fairly advanced tanks, helicopters, missiles, and all that shit. So these could be either interesting or I suppose my biggest worry is that they sort of they're going to they're going to be fairly similar. That's my biggest worry. And with the demand to get decisive victories in a lot of these missions, it's a huge pain in the ass. They're going to be slaughterous one way or another. Either because we have to risk things a little bit to get into a position to achieve the decisive victory. I don't know. I don't currently. I don't look forward to them. Especially this 97 to 98, 98, 99, 99, 99 Polako campaigns, because I think the equipment is more or less going to be the same. So how in the hell are they going to keep it fresh for 6 campaigns that probably have around 10 missions each? I don't see how you do it. I just don't. Still, at least the Korean campaign was very different from the Golden Heights campaign, so kudos on that. I just don't see the Korea campaign how they could even do it in the later tech versions. Because helicopters, for example, could spot the enemy infantry wave easily, and after that's happened, there's no ambushes on the vehicles anymore that you could do. So they could that easily just go around you and annihilate you. So, and that's a good thing because these infantry wave missions were fairly boring. The one where we failed and got a marginal victory, that was the most interesting part, I think. But because you have to get the decisive victories, you can't do that. So that's the part I hate the most. The requirement to get a decisive victory. I feel like as long as you can afford to pay the repairs on your army and you get a victory, that should be good enough. That would allow much more variety in how the battles can go. Now it has to be a crushing victory where after a few early turns there's nothing worth fighting for anymore, or just uh, load after every kind of minor movement just goes wrong. If your pathfinding takes a wrong path to the target, loot because you lost something, and it's not fun to play these missions. This game is much more fun to play when you have some margin of error and casualties and all that. Now it's squeezing the joy out of these missions, definitely.